When we speak about luxury car brands in India, Volvo's name doesn't immediately come to mind, especially not if you're talking about the German trio of BMW, Audi, and Mercedes-Benz. But Volvo has its priorities clearly spelled out for itself. Go clean, go electric. And therefore, after launching the XC40 Recharge here in India some time back, the company is all set with the C40 Recharge all-electric vehicle. You're watching HT Auto. I'm your host Shubhadeep, and this is an in-depth look at the incoming C40 Recharge electric vehicle. The C40 Recharge does not have a mammoth road presence from the outside, but what it lacks in terms of sheer dimensional numbers, it makes up for it in its modern visual appeal from the outside. The profile is quite clean, although not radical, and highlighted by this closed front grille, which is colored in the body color of the vehicle itself. Now, there are a whole lot of cameras, sensors and radars all around this car, but we'll speak more about that a little later. The profile though is, like I said, very clean. You get something called the pixel technology on the headlights. The headlight design themselves, the DRLs, are very modern, very appealing and very Swedish. Now what the pixel technology does, the company claims, is allows for better illumination of the road and also better control over the glare for incoming traffic. Over at the side, the C40 Recharge stands on 19-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels, and the tires themselves are low wheel resistance tires, which means the company says there is an enhancement of around 4% in the range figure of this vehicle. Now again, range is very interesting, but we'll speak about that a little later in this review. The profile on the side though is quite nice, appealing. You get a swooping roofline at the rear, which essentially gives it that crossover SUV credentials. The rear of the C40 Recharge is actually more sportier, more modern than all other angles of this vehicle, and therefore personally my favorite. Now, more favorite among the favorites is this whole light signature design that you get here. Very appealing, and it also gets its own unique welcome and farewell signature elements. Now, you also get two spoilers here, one at the top, and that's not just for show, but the company once again claims that this allows for an enhancement of around 8% in the overall range of this electric car. But what I do not like about the profile is that you only get one charging inlet towards the rear side of this vehicle. This essentially means that you'll have to be careful about how you're parking the car and which angle according to where the charging point is at. Remember, some of the rival models offer charging inlets on both sides of the vehicle, so that's just basically more convenient.
The cabin of the C40 Recharge isn't exceptional, but it is still quite well appointed. The vertical infotainment screen remains the big highlight, although the large digital driver display is quite good as well. There are plenty of storage spaces and charging options all around, and the seat materials are of great quality. Volvo says recycled and upcycled materials have been generously used. Look up and there is where my personal favorite is at: a fixed panoramic sunroof with UV and infrared protection. And then there is a 13-speaker sound system as well. There are, however, hard plastics aplenty too, which may be a result of cost constraints. Space is great for 4, but squeezing a third in the back seat would make for a very tight fit.
So while sustainable materials and features are a great show of intent, the real strength of any car, as always, is in how it drives. So come, let's find out.
The drive is where the C40 Recharge truly thrills. Mammoth torque for an SUV of this proportion generally helps with the pulling power, even though the Volvo also remains reasonably calm when commanded to do so. The suspension is stiff but passable, while the steering is quite precise as well. The one-pedal technology now comes with an auto mode, which is on point, but to activate it, one has to go through the settings on the main screen, which is a bit of a chore. There are several driver assist systems too, but we were unable to test these enough to have an opinion.
The C40 Recharge is as much fun to drive as the XC40 Recharge is. In fact, on that note, if you missed our XC40 Recharge review, do please check that out as well. But as far as this particular model is concerned, its inherent strengths lie in its modern visual appeals on the outside, its drive dynamics, and a decently well-kitted cabin. Much would depend on how well Volvo prices this car, considering that this is also being locally assembled in the market. What do you think about the C40 Recharge and our review? Do let us know, and as always, do not forget to check out our in-depth written review on htauto.com. In this episode though, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for watching.